filming like a full YouTube video, so I was like trying to get that through. All right, hop on in. Come on in here. All right. Hello.
Hey.
Can you introduce yourself for the audience here?
So, I'm Daniel Razza. I'm the lead gameplay engineer for Overwatch.
Wow. Hello, Daniel. Nice to meet you. Have we met before?
No, we've never met before.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Daniel. Gameplay engineer. So, what's like the stuff that you would work on?
Okay, so
because gameplay is such a broad thing.
Yeah, it's such a broad thing. So the best way to describe gameplay engineering is that we're responsible for everything that happens inside a match of Overwatch. So it's anything from movement to abilities to projectiles to networking. Oh, thank you. Chair.
Oh, you got a chair. Yeah, you're not stuck kneeling.
Yeah, so I'm not kneeling anymore.
Yeah.
So we do things with networking, like hero abilities. We have gameplay engineers that are assigned to each and every hero that is made, and they're responsible for making sure the heroes play correctly and that they feel good to play. They fix bugs, their performance. They implement new tech for every single new hero to make sure that, like, a hero that can do a new thing that doesn't exist in the game before, like, you know, we build those things and make them happen. So we built a bunch of new tech for all 5 of these new heroes that are here for season 1.
Wow. So so you built a bunch of new tech. So like, are there going to be new interactions, like new?
Yeah.
Collisions. Is there anything that you could tell us right now? I mean, these things are coming out next week.
Sure. So I definitely know that you look really deep into every single hero that we make. You make the Mythbusters videos.
That's right.
By the way, we absolutely watch those in particular because you find some bugs that we didn't catch. Just as a fun one, I think the last Mythbuster video that you did for Vendetta, you did a test of how her ultimate interacted with damage reduction across the game, and you caught that her damage reduction, like ignoring damage reduction, didn't work on Cassidy's role, and that was one that we missed, and we caught that by watching your video, and we had to fix that. So thank you for helping out making the game better.
It's okay. I'm public QAing right here.
Yeah.
All good.
All right, but to get into some of the new tech that was implemented for the 5 new heroes, I think probably the heroes that got the most new tech, Jetpack Cat had some new tech. So Jetpack Cat's ability to sort of like tether people and carry them, that's all new tech. It's tech that was based off of Malga's tether and Ball's tether. It's like an evolution of that tech, but it's being morphed into do different things.
So like you start with that kind of like baseline code and whatever, and iterate off of that to kind of make this thing work.
So the way it works is that a hero designer starts, and they have the ability to prototype a hero because we have like a really robust scripting system, and hero designers can build prototypes on their own. Right. And so they can rapidly iterate and work on ideas, and so they'll take pieces of one character and put it together with pieces of a different character to put together like an idea of a hero kit. And so they took, Ball and Malga's tether, and they used that to sort of build this prototype for the Jetpack Cat tether. But that's obviously not like, that's sort of like put together hastily. It's not going to be great for like final shipping gameplay.
Yeah.
We got reports of the players getting like motion sick. They were swinging back and forth while Jetpack Cat was carrying them.
I get motion sick now. Now that I've aged a little bit in my 30s, I'm getting motion sick. I'm worried now.
Yeah. We had some gameplay engineers that spent a bunch of time building a whole bunch of tech to try and figure out, okay, exactly how should the tether work? How should players attach them? How does it work when Jetpack Cat is going through narrow tunnels or is going over a bridge? How do we make sure that the heroes are
heroes, are they clipping or like syncing into the map?
Right. And so gameplay engineering works a lot on solving problems like that.
Okay.
The other one that was interested is if you want to go to Domina real quick.
Okay.
So Domina's shield is probably the most interesting piece of tech, and I can talk through a little bit of the history of this because this ability went through like 4 or 5 different versions before we arrived at this one.
Okay.
So the original version of Domina's shield was one where you would hold right click and you would draw squares in the air to form a barrier in whatever shape that you wanted.
Oh, you pick the shape.
You'd pick the shape, and so you'd be like swinging your mouse all over the place to try and form a barrier, and you could shoot out the individual squares. Shoot out the individual squares is the thing that sort of like remained as sort of part of the final
the final version here.
Right.
How many are here?
Yeah.
Do you know off the top? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So
27 squares. Yeah. Right. And so the idea was that you'd just be drawing this barrier in space. And so that was the first version that we spent a lot of time sort of building and iterating on.
But then wouldn't that take too much? Was the feedback that like it would just take too much time away from the battle to kind of build your barrier kind of thing?
Yeah, right. When we got into the playtesting, right, the answer was like, well, I need the barrier now. I don't want to spend time waving my mouse in the air to get the barrier up, right?
Yeah. And imagine the console players on the thumbstick trying to like draw a pattern and stuff.
So we came up with a couple of different versions. One where she would like swipe her mouse to form like a direction the barrier would go in.
Right.
So it would be like if you wanted a barrier that went vertically, you would swipe your mouse up, or if you wanted to go one side, you swipe it to one side.
Right.
But again, we kept testing that, and it's like, no, players really just want the barrier. And the cool part of the barrier is that it's a different defensive mechanic than anything we've had before, where you're shooting out pieces of it, and that's causing players on both the offense and defense to interact differently with it, right? Players that are behind the barrier are like shifting as shots or as pieces are getting shot out. Players that are shooting the barrier are thinking about what parts do I want to destroy so I can get my abilities through. So we still think it's pretty cool and unique.
Yeah, because like if like a hole is opening and stuff. Can I ask you right now? Do you know if they, if it's true to like a hero's hitbox? For example, if they pop open, let's say like 2 squares like this, Tracer can fit through. But what if I like push like a Mauga through that?
Oh,
will he fit?
So the barrier itself doesn't block people from walking through it, right? But yeah, you can still like shoot. You can shoot people through the barriers and things like that. So.
Well, I was thinking, for example, because I saw the perk here, which was called Power Move, where it now uses as a wall to stun. So like hypothetically, well, I mean, I guess I could just. But let's say the enemy shot this and built a hole, and then I pushed on the thing. Would he?
So
go through it.
So he would probably still go, like he might not go through it, but Tracer might. It's going to be based off of like the size.
It is actually based on the hitbox.
It's based off of hitbox. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So yeah, there you go. So now we know big hero models, Mauga, Roadhog, and stuff may not fit through, but a Tracer might easily go through even like even like a single tiny square, maybe, depending on how she is. Okay, that's pretty cool. Any other nuggets?
So if we go away from the heroes, I can talk a little bit about sort of what I do. Because I'm a lead engineer, I spend most of my time sort of making sort of like bigger decisions about the game.
Okay.
I'm in like the leadership group for the core gameplay part of the game, so I'm involved in a lot of the big decisions there.
Right.
I'm managing the team that's sort of working on heroes and events and stadium and a whole bunch of other content.
So you wear a lot of hats.
I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things in the game. But I'm still an engineer, I'm still a programmer, I'm still writing code and doing things. And the way I think about the projects that I take on is I take on the things that are off the critical path of the game. So, when we're working on a hero has to be done for a particular season. Because I'm so busy in meetings, I can't guarantee when I'm going to start or finish an individual project, so I can't work on an individual hero.
Right.
But I do get to choose a lot of interesting projects, so I do a lot of work in the anti-cheat space.
Okay.
I do a lot of work for console in particular. So I spearheaded our effort to detect unapproved peripherals, things like Zim and Corona Zen. Yep. That's sort of one of my major areas of focus. I spearheaded the effort to get mouse and keyboard support for console, and I can reveal, and this is sort of exclusive to you, that there is a new console feature coming in Season 1 that I think console players should be really excited for. It's probably the thing they've been asking for the most. We are adding a field of view slider for consoles for Xbox Series S and PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 consoles.
So they can finally be 103, right?
They can finally be the full 103 like field of view.
That's an exclusive. You guys hear that? Straight from Daniel, the lead gameplay engineer. I don't want to give you the wrong title here. For the console players coming next week, Season 1, you finally get an FOV slider for all the console players. Perfect.
Right. So it's only for Xbox Series X and PS5.
That's right. So no Switch.
No Switch. And the reason for that is that if you widen the field of view, you're increasing the amount of geometry you're drawing on the screen.
I see.
And because we very carefully manage the performance of the game on our various platforms, we don't want to compromise the frame rate on like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One when we're sort of at the limit there already.
Gotcha.
But for the newer consoles, we have some graphical headroom, so we were able to open up the field of view.
Very cool. That's a good little nugget. Well, thank you for that. You guys have any questions for Daniel?
Yeah.
Or unless you got more to...
No. I've given my spiel, so I'm happy to answer questions if anyone has anything. Series S, no. Series S, while it is like graphically more powerful than those consoles, we don't quite have the headroom that we have on the Series X and the PS5. My favorite hero to play.
Yeah, you just pick and choose.
Yeah. So I would say it's a tie between Sojourn and Vendetta. Sojourn is probably my most played hero, but ever since Vendetta came out, I've been playing almost nothing.
Which one have you had the most, amongst the ones that are obviously like announced, which ones have you worked on the most, interacted with the most?
Yeah, so
fixing or...
yeah, so I probably had the most interaction with Emre and Domina.
Okay.
I haven't done too much like bug fixing for either of them. Emre was probably one of the easier heroes for us to develop. He
seems very more like bare bones Call of Duty and other kind of standard run and gun shooters.
Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult to look at his hero, look at his design, and sort of figure out that he is kind of a callback to some classic first-person shooters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
Was there any part? What part of the kit did you have the most hands on here in particular?
So again, like I said, I don't do much direct work on the heroes themselves.
Right.
Most of it is giving feedback to the gameplay engineers that I lead that are working on the heroes.
Right.
I did give some feedback on the battle rifle, and I gave some feedback on the pistol itself.
Yep.
One of the things that is interesting about the pistol is that his pistol is actually his movement mechanic, but it's also this like survival mechanic.
Yeah.
And it took in early playtesting, it took a little while to sort of get used to the idea that pulling out the pistol was actually the way you were like getting back from spawn or getting to high ground. It's not what you typically thought about when you were pulling out that pistol, right? It's not like a usual like direct correlation make. I'm pulling out the pistol, I'm going to move faster, but you get used to it eventually.
Yeah, but there's always this movement speed and angles that you can take with it.
Right. So you know when you're respawning, you're going to be pulling out that pistol just to get back into the fight a little bit faster, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty short cooldown. It's enough. But that you'd only get back in the fight faster if you died in chat. You guys. I would never die.
Yeah. KarQ here never dies.
Because I'm a hero.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. So
heroes never die.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, early concepts for Onron. I think we had Onron's early concept pretty well locked in.
Right.
Even from the very beginning, we had this idea of like setting enemies on fire and using the right click to sort of get the explosive damage at the end.
Yep.
We knew we wanted her to be a dive hero. We modeled her a little bit like she's similar to Genji in some ways, where she has the mobility, she has the defensive mechanics, she wants to be up close, that sort of thing. So her ability kit was locked in pretty early on. We were working on her like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 months ago, and the early prototype kit didn't really evolve much. I would say the thing that changed the most was her movement. She used to have a movement ability that was less of a dash and more of like a run speed boost. It was a little bit weird, and she was able to like climb walls in weird ways, where like she became this almost like spinning like fire cartwheel thing that would like run up walls and stuff. It was kind of weird, and I think the double dash that she ended up with is a lot better.
It's a better way to kind of ended up. Wow.
Yeah. Cool. How do you balance how creative, crazy designers can go versus implementation? So yeah, at the end of the day, the way that we sort of balance the craziness is trying to think of how to put this. We try to enable the designers to build the heroes that they want to build, and so they'll come up with crazy ideas, and it's up to us as gameplay engineers to sort of evaluate, like, okay, can we do that? What will we need to do that? What are the constraints we need to put at? You know, like for Dominus barrier, like how many squares of the barrier can we support? You know, that sort of thing. We try to answer that question for them. We try to come up with clever implementations, and sometimes they'll ask for things where it's like, okay, we need to write new tech for that. Like if we were to build that new tech, it would take us X many weeks or months in order to build it. Does that fit within our schedule? Other times, though, we come at it from the other way, where as gameplay engineers, we're going to build some really cool new tech that isn't attached to a hero yet, but we're building it because we want to put it in front of designers and be like, hey, like this is new technology that we've implemented. Like if you could find a way to use this in some cool, creative way, like absolutely do that. And I think there's a few heroes coming up this year.
I'm excited that are going to be implementing new. So like even like the physics and everything will kind of like be like beyond what we've seen.
Yeah, there's going to be some things that you're going to be seeing this year that you've never seen before. So it should be really exciting.
Wow. Yeah. I'm excited. One of those guys is that silhouette of the 5 other heroes we don't know yet. Yeah. They've got some more stuff. Is there anything else with like these heroes that have new tech built into them?
Yeah, trying to think.
Besides the Jetpack Cat.
Yeah, Jetpack Cat, Domina. Mizuki actually has some new tech. Mizuki's right click is totally new. So the bouncing hat is a new projectile type that we added for Mizuki. So the way that thing moves is totally new, that we've never had that in the game before. Yeah. But for the ricocheting projectile builds on some tech that we've been working on for the past year or so, a little bit. So we made some changes to like projectile ricochet for like Junkrat and things like that over the past year, and some of that tech got applied to Mizuki as well.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't actually gone through the series. I was going left to right and just
yeah. You haven't gotten to him yet.
Yeah.
So he's cool though.
He looks really cool.
He's really cool.
Was he? Maybe I'm a little far behind. I don't think he was ever teased at all.
No,
yet.
he was a little bit of a surprise. We wanted some of the heroes to be teased, and we wanted some of them to be like
very nice, cool surprise.
Yeah, like almost out of nowhere kind of thing.
That's
like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
right?
That's what I was saying. I was like, what the?
Yeah, he's got to love the hat. Love
he's a
everything.
boy.
Yeah, love everything about his design. He's super cool.
Very cool.
All right.
Dope.
All right, I think I'll let you get back to it because you got more heroes to go through. You got more videos
got to go
make.
through some heroes, but hey, thank you for your time, Daniel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, love your content.
Appreciate
it. Enjoy the update, everyone.
I hope you guys are excited. Yeah, Spotlight Day's amazing. Thanks. You'll be popping around other people's streams right now, right?
I'll be talking.
So if you guys want to look for Daniel more, you got to stream hop between like the 70 streams that are live on Twitch right now and find them. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.